Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be going to be discussing the potential risk and challenges of buying a home in 2023. Buying a home is a big decision. We all know, right? And it's important to be aware of all the potential risks and the challenges that come or that you might face. So if you are thinking about purchasing a home in the next year, or if you just want to learn more information about the housing market, then this video is for you. We'll be discussing topics like affordability, economics, uncertainty, personal finance and risk, local risk, and market risk. Stay tuned and find out, and you're going to want to stay until the end because I'm going to show you how you can plan and always have an exit strategy, just like the investors do when they're buying up all the properties. You're like, damn, they just bought that house. Investor bought it. They always have an exit strategy. And that's what we're going to be talking about. So I'm going to talk to you about that in the end. I'll stay until the end. Of course, the first thing that we're going to be talking about is affordability. Of course, the first thing that we're going to be discussing is affordability. Depending on where you're looking to buy your home, the cost of housing in 2023 could be a risk factor. Home prices have been rising in some areas, and if they continue to rise, could become more of a difficulty for some people to afford homes. And that goes also what we're seeing with all of the interest rates going up, going down. So, and now we're seeing a lot of the homes also going down in pricing, but we're not seeing a lot of a big shift of the prices of the home dropping so low. But it comes down to what you can really afford, okay? As if you can't afford to make your mortgage payment, that's going to be the biggest part that you're going to be looking into if you are thinking of buying a home in 2023, because we're going to go into different factors in this video. But home affordability can be something that you can be priced out just because with all the shifts on the interest rates, now people are not being able to afford a higher mortgage payment, and that makes it very difficult for a lot of families to afford to buy a home or afford to live in a decent area as well. Okay, so that's a big factor. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is the economic uncertainty. There's always some level of economic uncertainty. And in 2023, there could be a number of factors that could affect the housing market. For example, if there's a recession or other economic downfall, it could lead to a lower demand for housing and potential for the properties to go lower in value. Okay, and what do I mean by that? Okay, because a lot of people, we're seeing a lot of people are losing their jobs again. We see the tech industry kind of going down again more. Even real estate is going a little down. A lot of people are getting out of the industry. So we do see a lot of things that it can affect and can cause the market to take a downfall. Okay, and also with the thing that's going on with Twitter, I know you guys saw that Elon Musk um, basically just sent out an email and told everybody that if they don't report to the office to work, that they're going to lose their jobs. So, and a lot of people decided not to go back to work because some people have bought homes in other areas, and how are they going to go ahead and move from one city or one place to another overnight. And a lot of people did this because of everything that happened with the pandemic. A lot of people decided to go and move into different areas, and now their employers are wanting them to come back to work. So we are going to see a lot of shifts, or a lot of people maybe making up their mind and saying, no, I'm not going to go back to work. I'm probably going to try to open my own business or do something on my own, or they look for other employment now where they're living and where they bought their new house. So there is a big risk factor in the economic with everything that's going on here in California. Okay, so very important to know the economic risks that are going around, and for you to be informed. Okay, so let's get into personal finance and the risk of buying a home is a big financial commitment, right? And it is important to consider whether you are financially ready to take on this responsibility of home ownership. If you are unsure about your financial stability or are not able to afford a home, it might be safe to wait until you're more financially secure. Okay, that's a big thing that you should consider when you're looking into buying a home, especially if it's a home that you have to move maybe an hour away, 2 hours away. Now you're going to have a bigger commute. You really have to consider the financial hit that you're going to take, because if you're going to have to commute, you're going to spend more money on gas. You're going to be traveling more. You're at a higher risk of having a car accident, more gas pricing, just more of everything, right? So you have to consider your personal risk that you're taking if you are going to be considering buying a home in 2023. Now let's consider the location risk. The location of a home is also a risk factor to consider. If you are buying a home in an area that's prone for natural disasters, such as earthquakes or hurricanes, or could cause a risk to your investment, now also that's something that you should consider if you're going to be purchasing a property. Okay, take all of these risks into consideration. I know in California we have earthquakes. In Florida, they have hurricanes or tornadoes. I mean, we've seen everything that's happened there. So maybe try to consider the risk when you are purchasing your home. Consider the location of the property. Make sure that it's in a good location, so that way you minimize your risk of buying your home. Okay, let's talk about the market risk. Finally, right? There's always some kind of level of market risk when you're buying a home. The housing market can be volatile, and there is no guarantee that a home will appreciate in value. I don't think anybody can tell you for sure what's going to happen in the market, because right now I'm seeing a lot of people talking about, oh, don't buy a house right now. Wait for the home prices to go down more in value. Okay, what are they going to do? They're going to wait until the summer when all of the home buyers are going to start looking into buying and moving. And now, again, there's not enough inventory. Or we could probably see a lot of sellers coming back on the market in the summer, and then there's not enough buyers. And we can have a overstock of homes on the market for sale. So there's a lot of things to consider, I know. And that's exactly why I wanted to sit down and give you an idea to think out of the box if you are thinking about taking on the risk and buying a home right now. Okay, what I want you to have is an idea of how you can come up with an exit strategy. Okay. Home investors have been flipping homes forever, right? What do? They know it can be a risk. They know the market can go up and take a downfall. The market could go up. They're just betting on the market. They don't know if it's going to go up or down, but they're still investing and they're still making money. They can take a hit here and there. Everybody, it's a risk. Everything's a risk in business. Okay. So, what I wanted to do is maybe give you a new way of thinking and having an idea of how you can come up with an exit strategy if you are thinking about buying a house. Okay. Because it's a great time. We have good inventory. We still have some good home prices. You're not having to overbid for the house. Sellers are paying for closing costs, or you can get money to buy down your rate so you can get a lower rate. There's a lot of good things happening. Check out my pros and cons video. Okay, if you haven't, go over there and check that video out. But the exit strategy, let's talk about it. Okay, so let's say you buy a house. Let's say you can afford 2,800. Let's just say, okay, because interest rates are kind of high. You're comfortable at 2,800. You're buying a nice single story house, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, in a good location, maybe close to the freeway. Remember, location, location, location. And you can either, this is the next exit strategy. You're going to come up and see how much the homes are renting in that area. If you see that your mortgage is going to be 2,800 and the homes in that area where you're looking to buy are renting for 2,500 to $3,000, what does that tell you? Okay, you have a potential to rent the property. Okay, you're probably not going to make money, but you're going to be getting your mortgage paid for by the renter. Why isn't that a good idea? It's always a good idea. Okay, because when things happen, people just go with what's in the news and they don't try to figure out a plan on how to get out of it. Okay, so that's the one thing. You can rent it. What's another thing? When you own your own house, you can rent a bedroom. Rents right now are going for 600, 750. Include all the bills, include internet. Okay, give them something where it entices somebody to come and rent a room from you. So maybe if you're looking to buy, you're looking for a house that has a separate room, maybe downstairs, where it can have its own door. Because you could always make a door and make sure it has a bathroom too. An exit strategy. You're always thinking and looking for ways that you can, if something happens, that you can always have an exit strategy. Okay, so yeah, rent a room, figuring out how it's going to work and how it can work for you. Okay, and if you need to sell the house, well, actually, or you can do Airbnb. Maybe it's in a location where it's going to do good for short, or it's going to do good for short term rentals like Airbnb. Look into if you could rent the house in Airbnb. That way you don't have to move all of your stuff out and you get to rent it. You stay with family. There's going to be sacrifices. That's what I don't understand. People just want nothing to happen and they don't want to have no sacrifices. Let me tell you a story. When I had to purchase my home, everybody was telling me, don't move to Riverside County. Now look at Riverside County, it's booming. Housing prices have gone up. It's a great place to live. It's nice and green, a lot of activities. But a lot of people at the time were telling me, don't do it. There's too much of a risk to move there. And what I took the risk, I did it. Okay. So always consider having an exit plan. Okay. And in the end, remember, you could always sell the house if you have to. Because a lot of people are like, well, I'm not going to make any money. but you were able to pay for the commissions for the agent. You were willing to walk away. If you can walk away with not owing the bank nothing, then you walked away with a win. Okay. When you're a renter, you're not always going to have money coming back to you when you move out of your rental, are you? So I don't understand why people make it into a big deal if they have to sell their house and they have no money coming back to them. Hey, it was a risk that you were willing to take, but what if the property would have gone up in value or you have a different outcome? Always consider that, okay? So I hope this idea of creating an exit strategy for you as a home buyer, gives you a different way of thinking for you to handle the housing market and all the risks that are involved with being a home buyer right now. Because yeah, we don't know how interest rates are going to go, if they're going to keep going up, if they're going to go down. We don't know if the home prices are going to go up and down, but take advantage if you are able to afford the rent, and then you can take advantage of having an exit strategy. I think it's always a good idea to be a homeowner. All right, so let's talk about a conclusion. Two, if I think it's a good idea for you to buy a home this year, okay? I always think it's a great time to be a to be a homeowner. Okay, not just because I'm a real estate agent. It's because it's something that gives you more of a stability, and it's just something that you can have that gives you that feeling like, oh wow, okay, I'm doing something here. Okay, because that's how I felt when I bought my home after my divorce. I felt like, wow, I did this on my own, and wow, I could do this on my own. I was amazed. I was shocked that I was able to do it, but it was a hard process for me. It took me 2 years, 3 years to save for my down payment. So for everybody that tells me I don't know what it is, or I don't know why, or no, I do know. I have my personal experience of how hard it was to become a homeowner. And when I did become a homeowner, the feeling I had, even though I was a homeowner before, but just going to rent, having to go rent after, and then having that feeling that, oh wow, I was able to buy again, and now wow, I own my house again. It was an incredible feeling. Okay, it's a feeling that I don't think anything can give you that accomplishment, that feeling of accomplishment. So for the conclusion of my video, I hope that you find some of the information here a little helpful, and that you also find it in you to see what's going to be your exit strategy. Okay, because if I can help you with just one thing, and it's that for you to be able to see like, oh, okay, I could come up with a plan. So if I do buy, this is how I can get out of it if I have to, or this is what I can do. Okay, like always, Angélica Bonilla here with Excellence Real Estate and the Bonilla Group. Thank you so much for watching.